Well, Angelle Sampey is the subject of this week's Powerade Power Time. Pro stock motorcycle rider Angelle Sampey is a three-time champion and the winningest female in NHRA history. But her success didn't come without sacrifice. In this rather candid interview, Angelle shares her experiences as a woman in the world of drag racing.
In the beginning, it was ugly. You know, a lot of my competitors still to this day don't want to admit how ugly they were to me, or they don't want to admit that others were that ugly to me. You know, when you get spit on at the end of the racetrack, you get told to go back to the kitchen where you belong. Your 18-wheeler gets spray painted with graffiti. That's bad to me. I don't know any other male competitors that had to go through that, and I did have to go through that. So I knew what I wanted to do with my career. I knew how successful I wanted to be, but there were so many times that I almost let them defeat me and just go home and quit. Fortunately, I didn't. This is just not a sport to come out here and give it half of what you have. You have to give it all. I've wanted to be a mom since before I started drag racing. And it was a really tough decision for me to make. You know, am I going to start this, or am I going to be a mom? And I knew that if I started it, that I had to give it my all, and I may even have to give up ever being a mother. I've often told Antron that I would trade all three of my championships for one of his children, because he can do both. He can be a championship race car driver and a father. You know, I couldn't do that. I never came into the sport expecting to be anybody's role model, so that was really tough for me at first. I really had to pay attention to what I said, how I handled things, how I handled winning and losing. I get a lot of bashing on the internet for crying when I don't do well, but people don't understand how emotionally involved we are in this. So I really have to remember that when I think that there may be a little girl looking up to me and wanting to be like me. So it's tough because you feel like your life is under a microscope at all times, but it also is very rewarding. I have fans a lot more than I ever imagined. Fans come up to me, men and women, mostly men, say, you know, I've been trying for years to get my wife to come to the races or watch the races with me, and she finally comes because of you. You know, she has someone to root for. I hope if a girl does have the opportunity to race and it's because of me, I'll be very proud of that. I would like to hear, you know, that she appreciated that, because I did go through a lot of stuff that the next girl didn't have to go through. So yeah, if the next girl comes along and knows that and appreciates it, it would make me feel like it was all worthwhile.
And there is good news for all the moms out there. Angelle has found a way to be a mother and continue to race. She's in the process of adopting a little girl from China.